Are you having some problem indexing your blog post or page or Google search engine? Or it is possible the pages you don't want to index, they are indexed on Google. It is very possible that this is because of the sitemap of your website. Maybe you don't have a sitemap on your website, or if you have a sitemap, then that is not the perfect sitemap on your website. So in today's education video, I break down everything about sitemaps, so you don't need to watch any more videos and you don't do the guesswork in your mind. What is a good sitemap, what to include, what to exclude from the sitemap, okay? So in this video, exactly I will break down what is sitemap, little bit more information about sitemap, like how it looks like, what are different kind of sitemaps there. And then I will tell you why sitemap are important for SEO, because a lot of people miss this point. They just think, okay, we have this plugin on our website, it will do everything by itself, which is totally fine. But if you want to go to the next level, you want to improve your website, you want to get pages indexed early and have the right page index, please understand why sitemaps are important and how we use the sitemaps, okay? And after that, we understand how to add sitemap to different platforms, whether you have WordPress website, a blogger website, or a custom website. We look everything how to add these sitemaps to your website. So once you have added the sitemap, we will understand how to submit your sitemap to Google or different search engines. And next, we understand what not to include into sitemap, because this is really important. Because a lot of time people add some pages which should not be indexed on Google and should not exist on sitemap. So I'll tell you step by step which are these common pages that everybody should exclude from sitemap, because they affect your crawl budget. They are like waste pages. You're just wasting your website resources, and Google is coming to your website and not focusing on the main pages, and instead wasting the time on indexing the pages you don't want to index. So it's really important to know what not to include in the sitemap. I'll show you how to do it via Rankmath plugin. I will show you how to do it via Yoast plugin and also with a custom sitemap. And then in the end, I will explain you how to solve sitemap processing errors, because a lot of people, they face this issue. They add the sitemap, everything is good, and one point sitemap stopped working. So I'll show you how to solve the sitemap processing error, or maybe you see this sitemap error in Google Search Console, how to fix that thing. I hope this sounds good to you. If you're a beginner, this will be a really exciting video. You'll understand everything about sitemap. And let's go to the video. But before that, I highly recommend you to subscribe to the channel, because I create these kind of educational in-depth videos which will really improve your skills. Whether you run a blog, website, e-commerce store, I create this regular in-depth videos which will really help you improving your skills. So no guesswork, learn the skills and get success. And subscribing is totally free. I would really appreciate that. So let's go to the first point. What is a sitemap? Sitemap is a file usually which lists all the important pages on your website. You want to be indexed on search engine like Google, Bing, or any search engine. For example, a sitemap for your website will be like yourwebsite.com, whatever URL of your website is. And then the important pages. For example, there is the home page of the website, and then you can see this is the about page of the website. Then there is some blog pages, service pages, contact pages, privacy policy pages. So these are like general pages of website. So that's all the purpose of sitemap. You add all the important pages you want to be indexed on Google. And you don't add the pages. For example, their backend pages, for example, their cart pages, for example, the pages which are not important. You don't add those pages in the sitemap. And that's all we will understand today, okay? I hope that was easy. Okay, now let's see what are the types of sitemap. So generally there are 4 types of sitemaps. First is XML sitemap, second is HTML sitemap, third is image sitemap, and fourth is video sitemap. So XML sitemap, it contains all the URLs, when they modified last time, all this information. HTML sitemap are visible to users, which help in navigation. They're like menus on the website. They're not for search engine, they're for users. For example, if very deep website, very large website, you might considering adding a HTML sitemap on your website so people can navigate through your site easily. Not just to the main pages, but inside like all the pages of your website. And then the image sitemap, which help Google to discover images and index them. And then video sitemap, which are really helpful to discover the videos on your website by Google and index them on search engine. And guys, trust me, this is very simple. We'll do everything automatically. You generate everything automatically. You don't need to like really put so much effort in creating all these kind of sitemap. Everything gonna be really easy. Just bear with me. If you're a student, please take paper and pen. It will really helpful. Take the notes. So let me show you an example of a XML sitemap. You can see this is the example of sitemap. So we have all these pages. Remember, we have all these pages: home page, about page, blog page, services page, and contact page of websites. So we write them inside this URL and LOC tags. You can see every page is written like this, and it's really simple. And there is some code on the top which says this is a XML file. And you don't need to worry about all these things. Everything gonna be generated automatically. Just to explain you how it works, because why not? It's interesting to understand how things really work, which you are using every day. And you know, there is specific URL to the sitemap. So for example, if your website is yoursite.com, the sitemap will be /sitemap.xml. This is like universal thing for all kind of sitemaps. But if you have a WordPress website and you're using Rankmath plugin or Yoast or AIOC plugin or any kind of plugin, the sitemap URL will be sitemap_index.xml. So if I open a website, I enter the domain name and then /sitemap_index.xml. You can see the sitemap of my website. In case of the Blogger website, you can add in the end sitemap.xml, and this will be the sitemap of your website. You can see sitemap is downloaded here. If I open the sitemap, you can see all the important URLs of my website exist here. And there you can see there is one thing called last mod and there is a time. So this represents when this page was modified last time. We will understand later why this is important. Okay, if I go back to my WordPress sitemap, you can see we don't have all the pages here. Instead, this is much more organized. What we have mini sitemap inside this main sitemap. So you can see here, the first one is post sitemap. If I click on post sitemap, then you can see all the posts exist on website which I want to be indexed, they exist here. And last modifies and if they have images or not. And you might say this looks a little bit different than the sitemap we see on Blogger or the sitemap I show you here. So guys, it is exactly same, but this XML file is little bit designed. If I go to source code, I press Ctrl U, you will see it is the same sitemap. We have XML sitemap here and then location and then last mode. But because this file is modified, this file is added a little bit of design, that's why it looks like this, because it is easy to read. I hope you understand how this XML sitemap is designed. Okay, now let's see why are sitemap important for SEO. Because if you don't understand why they're important, you will never take actions on your sitemap. You will just let it created by default by Rankmath plugin, Yoast SEO plugin, or any other method to create sitemap, and you never focus on these things. But let me tell you, sitemaps are really easy to manage and they really brings a lot of benefits to your website. So the first benefit is they help search engine to find the content, especially for new, large and deep websites. For example, Googlebot come to a website and I have 30 blog posts on a website, but I don't want all 30 blog posts to be indexed because 10 of them not really important. So what I can do, I can show just these things. So Googlebot does not waste its time to index all the blog posts. So it helps Google to better index the pages for my website on Google. Second thing is improve crawl efficiency. For example, if Google come to a website, it knows properly. You can see there's a post sitemap, there's a page sitemap, product sitemap, category sitemap. So Google will understand how things are organized on your website and where to look first. Third and very important thing is it lets search engine know when the content was updated. Like I showed you before, every sitemap has this last mode section. So Google will know, okay, this content is modified on this page or this URL. So now let's do one thing. Let's remove the old cache in our database and update this URL into our database. It is really important for the people who don't have their pages indexed regularly. If they use a proper sitemap, then the page will index properly because Google will know, okay, this page is updated, but other pages is not updated. So Google will not waste its resources in updating other pages because Google also has limited time and resources. So it allocates its time to crawl your website. And when you tell Google, okay, this page was modified recently, Google will focus on that page. So Google will not waste its resources. And Google loves this thing because you are working with Google. You're not telling Google, okay, this is my website, do everything by yourself. No. So if you want to take your website to the next level, please take care of this kind of small things. Last benefit today, I will tell you exclude irrelevant pages. For example, there are a lot of pages which we don't want to be indexed on Google. They're like search pages, login pages, cart pages, like we don't want them to index on Google. And you know what? If these pages exist in the sitemap, Google will crawl them, but Google will not index them. And you will always see a lot of errors in your Google Search Console account that Google knows about these pages, but Google is not indexing them. So if Google is not indexing these pages because Google knows these pages are not important pages, but they're still in sitemap. That's why Google is showing you all these errors in sitemap. So what we need to do is we need to exclude the irrelevant page from the sitemap. We'll talk later how to do that. Okay, now let's talk about how to sitemap to different platforms. So let's talk about WordPress first. I'll show you first Rankmath and then Yoast SEO and then Blogger and then custom website. So log into WordPress account. If you install Rankmath plugin, go to dashboard and then scroll the page, and here in the end you see this option sitemap. Make sure this is enabled, and this will automatically take care of sitemap of your website. Once this page is enabled, you can find your sitemap on your website, enter the URL and then type sitemap_index.xml and you'll find the sitemap on your website, something like this. So if you're using Yoast SEO plugin, go to settings in the left sidebar and then go to site features here and then scroll the page, and then you will find in API section XML sitemap. And if this feature is enabled, you can view the XML sitemap. Just click here and you will see this is the sitemap of Yoast SEO plugin. So you can see these both sitemap are on WordPress. This sitemap created by Yoast SEO plugin. This sitemap is created by Rankmath plugin. They might look different because they have different design because they're created by different plugins, but they have the same information. You can see the post sitemap here too, page sitemap here too, And if I click on this sitemap, you can see inside also we have the same information, when it was last modified, images and everything. So basically sitemaps might look different, but the purpose is same. Don't get confused that why sitemap look different in this video or maybe on your website. Now let's talk about Blogger website. So on Blogger website, sitemap are automatics. They are by default created. You just need to type your website URL and then write sitemap.xml. Once you click this option, your sitemap will download it. It will not display on your browser. Depending on your browser, it might display, but file will be downloaded if you open the file, and you will see all the important pages on your Blogger website. So sitemap in Blogger is automatically generated. You don't need to do anything about it here. Now let's talk about custom websites. It can be HTML website, PHP website, React website, any kind of website. For a custom website, you can use a website like xmlsitemap.com. You'll find the link to this website in the description of this video. Come to this website, enter website URL here, and then click on start. And then it will take some time. It will scan all the pages on your website. And once done, you will see view sitemap details. And you will see a sitemap for website is created. You can download this XML sitemap. It will download here. You can open this file and you can see every detail is here. So now what you need to do is go to your hosting account, click on file manager, and then go to public HTML, and then here you can click on upload. And then you can select the file you just downloaded. For example, this is sitemap for website. Keep the name of file sitemap.xml. It is easy to understand and manage. So select this file and then click on open, and in reload you will find the sitemap.xml. Because I have WordPress website, so I will delete this sitemap because this is not the correct sitemap of my website. I am already using Rankmath plugin to create the sitemap, so I will delete this for now. But the problem with this kind of sitemap, they are static sitemap. But in case you are using a dynamic programming language like PHP or Node.js or Python, you can use this kind of libraries. For example, PHP you can use Laravel, Node.js you can use sitemap.js. But we are not going to explain all those things because the video will become very complicated. But you still want to know all the information, check the link in the description. I had link to all those libraries you can use to generate the automatic sitemap for these kind of custom website which are dynamic. If you have any question, let me know in the comments. I reply to all the comments on this channel. Okay, so now we understand all this thing. One important thing is remaining is to add this sitemap to the search engine. So Google or Bing will know this is the sitemap of the website. Okay, let's do that. How to do that? First of all, make sure you have a Google Search Console account. If you don't have this account, please create the account. It's totally free. You can use your Gmail ID, Google account to create Search Console account. I will add the link in the description how to create this account. It's super easy to create. Okay, once you're here, you can see this is my website Search Console account. Then you need to click on Sitemaps here. You can see I have my website sitemap already here. But in your case, you will not have anything here. If it's the first time, you need to enter website sitemap URL here. For example, in my case, it will be sitemap_index.xml, and then just click on submit. In case you have some issues with sitemap, what you can do, you can delete the existing sitemap. You can just click on this sitemap here, and then from here, click on remove sitemap. Don't worry, it will not de-index your website pages. But if you're somebody who is not sure about all these technical things, do not do this. But for people who know what they're doing and who are already long-time subscribers to this channel, they know what we are doing. So I'll add the URL of my website sitemap and then click on submit. And you can see sitemap submit successfully. It just took like few seconds. And there are 40 Discord pages in my website sitemap. You can do the same process on Bing also. You can also add your website sitemap on Bing. And guys, it is really, really important because I see a lot of people forget to do this step. It is very, very important step that you add your website sitemap in Search Console for Google, Bing, and for any different kind of search engines. Okay, so now we've added the sitemap to Google. Let's talk about very important thing, like what we should not include in the sitemap, because we don't want Google to waste resources on all the pages which we don't want to index. So there's some common pages for everybody, like for any kind of website, whether it's a blog, it's a WooCommerce website, it's a company website, agency website, it's a Wix website, Shopify, any kind of website. There's some pages you should not add on sitemap. And later I will show you how you can exclude those things. Common page you should not exclude will be duplicate pages. For example, multiple versions of the same page. Thin content pages. So pages which have less than 100-200 words. Please do not add those pages in sitemap. Admin pages, login pages or system pages of your website, do not add those things. Search result pages, do not add those. Cart pages, checkout pages, user account pages for e-commerce website, do not add those things. Tag or archive pages, if it's the low quality or thin content, if you're not targeting those pages to be indexed, please do not add those things. Paginated pages, a lot of times you see paginated pages, you go to website, they're like 100 blog posts. So you have different pages. First, you're on first page, you go to second page, third page, fourth page. So please do not add those pages because the base page is originally indexed on Google. You don't want this new URL which has this just question mark page is equal to 2 because that's kind of a duplicate URL. And why I'm saying do not index these pages, because if you don't exclude this page sitemap, they will be in sitemap. When Google bot will come to your website, it will crawl these pages, but Google will not index those pages because Google servers are very smart. You might have those pages in your sitemap, but Google will not index them. So what is the purpose? If Google is not indexing those pages, no, those thin pages, those checkout pages, but you still have this sitemap. It will mean you're wasting the crawl budget of your website. So Google assign a crawl budget to website. So you should exclude these pages. So Google focus only on the pages which should be indexed. And this is how you index your pages quickly on Google. A lot of people miss this thing. That's why they say, okay, my page not being indexed faster or the wrong page is being indexed. So please focus on these things. If you want to know the information which pages you should exactly exclude for Shopee website, Wix website, for Webflow website, WooCommerce website, check the link in the description. You can download a list of all those pages for different platforms. Okay, now let's see how to exclude those pages inside Rankmath. Okay, so in Rankmath plugin, make sure you're on titles and meta. And once you are here, you're on global meta. Make sure robots meta is checked to index. But now we have all these things here, left side. So you go to post types. So guys, make sure this is post robot meta should be indexed. It is really important post should be indexed. Then we have pages, they should be indexed. Then you might see this kind of special kind of pages here. For every website, they're different. So you can see WPTB tables is a plugin I'm using on website. And I don't want this to be indexed. It created a URL, but I don't want this URL on Google. And guys, in WordPress, it's a little bit complicated how all these things work because WordPress becomes this such huge ecosystem where we have so many free plugins available. So all these things also comes with WordPress. So these kind of things which you don't want to index, they create by plugins or something. Make sure click on them and de-index them. For example, here you can see Rankmath updated its system. So it is already not adding this page to the sitemap. And you might see multiple different options here. If I click on this one, for example, you can see, so this is created by a plugin. Guys, make sure things which you don't want to index, they're set to no index here. Some things, for example, WTB tables, Rankmath understand that this is something not to be indexed, so you don't see this option here. But for example, Elementor header and footer builder, so this is to create header and footer. I don't want separately my header to be indexed because I want the whole page. If you're not sure what it is, keep it to no index. Make sure post is indexed here. Then we have tags. Normally, I don't like to index tags because they might create some problem or duplicate content. And you can see table text, Rankmath already detected this something should not be indexed, so it is not adding it and you don't see the option to index or not index. And then you have multiple other options. So basically in Rankmath, you do not need to worry too much about these things. Rankmath automate take care of things. But one thing you need to focus on is miscellaneous pages. Click on miscellaneous pages and scroll the page. Please select this in no index search result pages and no index paginated single pages and also no index password protect pages. Make sure these are all checked and then click on save changes. And for more details, check the link in the description. Same option you can find on Yoast SEO plugin. Just go to crawl optimization and from here, make sure you uncheck all the pages you don't want to index. For example, prevent crawling of internal sites search URL. I will make sure this option is checked. And you see here we have different options than Rankmath because they are different plugins. Rankmath is taking care of some things automatically and Yoast SEO is taking care of some things differently. So do not worry too much about those things. Just do a setting I explain here. And the more you work with sitemap with your website, you will learn more things. Guys, it's really important to learn skills. Sometimes it's possible I might say something wrong, but if you learn all those things by yourself, you will have a very good understanding that what you should do, what you should not do. Now let's talk about custom websites. So custom website, when you download the file, what you need to do is before uploading this file to your hosting in your file manager under public_HTML folder, what you need to do is, so the file you downloaded, click on show in folder and then right click. And from here, for example, you don't want this page to be indexed. Guys, make sure you select the text properly. So you need to select the URL tag before it and until it's ending. You can see the URL tag is starting here and you have this backslash here, it's ending here. So I'll remove the complete this page and guys, make sure you don't have this kind of errors. And then you save this file, then you upload to your hosting. I know it can be complicated. Please check the link in the description how you can do that, how you can exclude the common pages from a custom website. And one last thing is very important, guys. Please add this sitemap in your robots.txt file. If I show you my website, I type here letscreatewebsite.com/robot.txt. You can see I've added my website sitemap URL here because robot.txt is the first file when any bot comes to your website, they crawl this. Once they crawl this, then they go to the sitemap. So what you're telling bots when they come to robot.txt file that please go to sitemap. These are all the pages I want you to index on search engine. And guys, make sure you don't forget to add your website sitemap URL in your robot.txt file. I created a complete detailed video robot.txt file. Please check the link in the description. And like this video, explain everything step by step in that video. So make sure don't forget to watch that video. That's a very important video. If you want to improve your skills, you want to be ahead from the competition. Okay, now the last issue, sitemap processing error and how to fix it. Sometimes you can see temporary processing error in your Search Console account. So first thing what you can do, you can validate your website sitemap if it is working properly or not. You can use this tool. I'll add the link to this tool in the description of the video. Then add your website sitemap, then click on validate sitemap. If you see there's no issue, totally fine. But if you're using Rankmath plugin, everything is good, but still you are having some issue, then it is very possible your caching plugin or your firewall plugin is blocking the sitemap. If you're generating the sitemap, when you go to your sitemap URL, everything looks fine here. But when you test by validator, there's some issues here. And also you find this kind of issue in your Search Console account issue. There are very high chances your cache plugin or your firewall plugin is blocking the sitemap of your website. So what you need to do is, first of all, so disable the cache plugin or disable the firewall plugin, and then check again with the validator if the sitemap is working properly or not. In Google Search Console, it might take time to see the changes, but in validator, you will see the changes directly, like immediately. Now you know whether this was cache plugin or whether this was the firewall plugin or security plugin making the issue with the sitemap. There is a step-by-step videos coming how to solve the issue, so stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Another thing could be Cloudflare. So what happened recently, my website got hacked, so I enabled the under attack mode from the Cloudflare and it was blocking the sitemap of my website. And I was having this error of temporary processing error. So make sure you're not in under attack mode if the issue was solved. And also you can exclude a sitemap URL and Robots.txt URL from Cloudflare to be protected by the JavaScript challenge. So try checking pausing the Cloudflare also. I hope you learned a lot of things today about sitemap and makes you everything clear for you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I reply to all the comments on this channel. And don't forget to like this video. I would really appreciate it. It takes a lot of time to create this kind of videos. And please share the video to help the channel. Because I see a lot of channels with low quality content are getting a lot of views, but the channel who are working a lot, creating nice content are not getting a lot of views. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. If this video is helpful, please check this video on the screen. It is about Robots.txt file which will take your website to the next level.